Gotcha. Okay. Everybody got quiet. I guess it is 8:30 according to my watch, isn't it? It says 8:28 here. I hit the button. Thank you. First item on our agenda is our auditor's financial report.
Okay, we started the year with a beginning net balance of $5,676,257. You've granted additional appropriations in the amount of $2,621,811. We take away the miscellaneous expenditures to date of $293, leaves available for appropriation $3,054,153. At the last meeting, I mentioned adding in the miscellaneous revenue that was above and beyond what we were expecting, and rather than revise the worksheet here, I just added that to the bottom, and that the total of those two special distributions was $3,742,946.
So the total would be 6.7 million?
Yes.
Thank you.
As far as revenue for the general fund, just wanted to point out one item here under intergovernmental economic development is how we have it coded, but we did receive a reimbursement from Soil and Water for the rural conservationists. This was a question last year at budget time, and so we did receive that. Putting that, we didn't account for it because we were unsure, but so that's putting that dollar amount over what we anticipated there. And so total revenue, if we take away property taxes, sitting at 86% collected. And I did not have anything in particular to report on the fund balances, unless you have any questions.
Are there any questions for Jennifer? Hearing none, we'll move on to our treasurer's report.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We ended the month of July with an account balance of $182,156,657.58, with a total interest of $794,499.67. The average interest rate and the weighted average rate was 5.59%. The general fund has received 63% of the total interest, and with a little over halfway through the year, we are sitting at 70% of our projected interest revenue. And that's all I have.
Okay, any questions? Thank you.
Thanks.
Next item on our agenda is public comment related to any of our agenda items. Is there any public comment to come before us this morning? If not, next up is Resolution 2024-20-CL approving a waiver for noncompliance with application for deduction of a filing deadline.
Make a motion, we approve the resolution 2024-20-CL.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor from Councilman Murray, a second from Councilwoman Hamilton to approve Resolution 2024-20-CL. Discussion. Doug?
Yeah, this is, has to do with the tax abatement for Dormy LLC. It's kind of just a filing deadline issue. They had filed their statement of benefits on time, and you approved it, I think May 10th or so is when you're supposed to file that. You're also supposed to file an application for the actual deduction. That didn't get filed by May 10th. It got filed on June 11th. You have the power to waive that deadline, and so this resolution would just accept the application as if it was filed on time.
Okay, thank you for that explanation. Any questions or discussion from council?
Just clarification. So this is for application statement of benefits, or this for the compliance, the CF1?
Let's see, the,
I believe.
yeah, so CF1 was filed on time
Okay.
and you approved it.
The compliance, okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay, any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That is approved. Next, we'll move on to our consent agenda. Are there any items that anyone sees that need to be removed for further discussion? If not, I'll take a motion to approve the consent agenda, which also contains our minutes from our last meeting.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I have a motion on the floor from Councilman Murray, a second from Councilman Basham, to approve the consent agenda as presented. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That is approved. Next, we have additional appropriations, starting with probation.
So this is a salary statement that we tabled to this month from last month. After some discussion, we have decided we are not going to act on this, so it can just be taken off at this point.
All right, we will move on then to CASA Fund 1213 appropriation.
I'll make a motion that we approve the GAL/CASA Fund 1213 appropriation as presented.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor from Councilwoman Vernon, a second from Councilman Murray, to approve the GAL/CASA Fund 1213 appropriation in the amount of $10,874. Discussion.
And Hillary's here.
Okay. Any questions or discussion from council?
And Hillary, I think you're here? If you want to come to the mic and if you want to say anything about this, please, thanks.
So this appropriation is just the third-round distributions from the state GL at CASA. That's all it is.
Okay. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That is approved. Thank you. Next, we have Fund 4128 for the surveyor.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the Phase 2 Stormwater Donation Fund 4128 in the total amount of $5,000.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor from Councilman Richard, a second from Councilman Basham, to approve the Stormwater Donation Fund 4128 appropriation in the amount of $5,000. Discussion. Hearing
Zach.
nothing. What's that?
Zach.
Oh, Zach's coming. All right. He gave you the look.
Good morning, everyone. So the $5,000 was donated by Norfolk and Southern. It'll be used for Phase 2 water quality projects, mostly on the winters on the Wabash. So that's pretty much it.
Okay. Thank you very much. Any other questions? Discussion. Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That is approved. Next, we have Fund 4897 appropriation.
I'd like to make a motion to approve Project Phase 2 Stormwater Fund 4897 in the amount of $200,000.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor from Councilman Richard, a second from Councilman Basham, to approve the Phase 2 Stormwater Fund 4897 appropriation in the amount of $200,000. Discussion.
Again, good morning. So this is a housekeeping item, cleanup from last year, a remnant, if you will. If you remember last year during budget hearings for this year, we closed out the 4897 fund and transferred those monies after the first of the year over to the Eat It line item budget. And so these monies were approved by this body for 2024, but I'm asking to appropriate them so we can expend them. So.
Okay. Any other questions or discussion?
I just have a question about the NEPDES in the county.
I'm sorry, John.
The
what?
NEPDES in the county, the acronym NEPDES, National Pollution Discharge Elimination System,
NEPDES,
Phase
yes,
2,
yeah,
Stormwater
the
Quality.
NPDES, yes, yes.
What about the county? Where are we with? I know they got the ERUs here in the city,
Yeah,
so I heard the county was doing something, so.
yeah. Sure. So, yeah, we've talked about this for many years. 2012, roughly, I was asked by the Drainage Board to put together a study to show what a county ERU would be, how much per ERU that would be, and then how much annual revenue that would create. I have that study. It's in my office. I'd be happy to dust it off. But really what it boils down to is that out of the 7 co-permittees that make up the Tippecanoe County Partnership for Water Quality, the county being the lead agency, all the other agencies, as far as the non-college entities, which would be Lafayette, West Lafayette, Dayton, and Battleground, they have passed local stormwater utility fees. The county has not. The county has chosen to fund the Phase 2 program out of EDIT funds. So basically what it boils down to, without going into a lot of detail, it comes down to a couple things. First of all, it's a federal mandated program through the Clean Water Act, through the EPA, then funneled down through IDEM at the state of Indiana, and then on to us as an unfunded mandate. So we either have to fund it through whatever means, eat it, et cetera, or we pass a utility fee to generate the funds that run it. So that's up to, that's a community decision. It's not my decision, but I'm happy to have the conversation if you'd like. So, but that's the story.
Yeah, I love that conversation.
Historically, I'm aware of that, John. Any other questions?
Any other questions for Zach?
How much revenue is generated from the ERUs in the city of Lafayette and West Lafayette? I know they put these rain barrels out there for a hoax.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that, John, as far as what their annual revenue is. We can find out, but that would be a question for them to
I'll get
answer.
back with you on that one.
Sure?
Sure. Thank you, Zach.
Yep, you're welcome.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Anything else? Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions or discussion concerning the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Community Corrections General Fund appropriation.
Make a motion, we approve Community Corrections General Fund 1,000 appropriation in the amount of $32,738.
Second?
I have a motion on the floor from Councilman Murray, a second from Councilwoman Hamilton to approve the general fund appropriation for community corrections in the amount of $32,738. Discussion.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Morning.
Tina.
So this is a situation that I inherited that this funding, or this wasn't budgeted into our current cycle. So once we get this cleared up, we do have the additional services added into the budget for this upcoming year. So this should resolve the issue.
Okay. Any discussion from council? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That is approved. Thank you. Next, we have Parks Naturalist Program Gift Fund.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the Naturalist Program Gift Fund 4126 in the total amount of $3,500.
Second?
I have a motion on the floor from Councilman Richard, a second from Councilwoman Hamilton to approve the Fund 4126 appropriation in the amount of $3,500. Discussion. Morning, Randy.
Hey, good morning. What we're trying to do, we underestimated how much money we needed to move earlier in the year. Mary Cutler, with all the programming she does, I believe bought some educational supplies with that, which she can use in years in the future here. So, but that's what we need. We're just protecting ourselves for Mary for the rest of the year. So I think with our budget for 2025, I think we've upped that amount. So hopefully we won't have to come, in August again next year to ask for some additional funds. But that's pretty much what it is.
Okay. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That is approved. Next, we have Fund 9197 grant appropriation.
I'll make a motion that we approve ICAC Task Force Fund 9197 grant appropriation, travel and training, $3,500.
Second?
I have a motion on the floor from Councilwoman Vernon, a second from Councilwoman Hamilton to approve the ICAC Task Force Fund 9197 in the amount of $3,500. Discussion.
And this is just the amount to send one to attend the program.
What she said.
What she said.
Yeah.
Thank you,
No, this
Sheriff.
is just so we can have somebody attend the training. I think it opens up other avenues through ICAC, and you need to have somebody trained up so we can work the cases that they give to us. Otherwise, we've got to go through a workaround with the prosecutor's office, which we've been doing for years. This just gets us where we need to be.
Okay. Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have general fund appropriation for commissioners in the amount of $12,500.
I'll make a motion that we approve general fund appropriation in the amount of $12,500 for the commissioners.
Second?
I have a motion on the floor from Councilwoman Vernon, a second from Councilwoman Hamilton to approve the general fund appropriation for office supplies for the commissioners in the amount of $12,500. Discussion.
Good morning. This
Good morning.
is due to a shift, basically for some reason during the COVID years, the Sheriff's Department's paper got transferred to be purchased from the Commissioner's office, which is perfectly fine. And then with TCCO coming online, the Extension Office was added as well. And so we've had an increase in the amount of offices getting paper through our office, plus about a 25% increase in the cost of paper. So although our overall use of paper is declining, our overall costs are increasing.
Okay. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That is
Thank you.
approved. Any committee reports for us this morning? Unfinished business. New business. Commissioner FYI. You sat down too long, Tom.
I just have one thing. On this Thursday, the 15th, at 1:30, there is the first groundbreaking for the First Ready project here in Tippecanoe County, and that is the Jeffersonian project, which is at 619 North 9th Street, and that's the addition of additional low-cost apartments for those over 55. And it's at 1:30 in the afternoon if you care to attend. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any public comment for us this morning? Just the reminders there at the bottom. Budget hearings are coming up quickly, and we have our evening meeting concerning the budget on September 3rd at 6 p.m. And adoption will be on September 10th at our next regular council meeting. If there's nothing else, I'll take the last motion.
Make a motion to adjourn.
We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.